Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Curiosity Corner Live. We're going to give our friends at home a few more seconds to come in and join us. So, happy first day of May. It's May. Of course, springtime in Ohio generally means rain. Not that I'm complaining. I like rain. Rain is fun. It wasn't raining yet as of when I came down here, but I can't see outside, so we'll see what happens. See, is everyone having a good day so far? I know it's still pretty early in the morning. Let you know. My dog is having a good day. He got plenty of belly rubs and ear scratches this morning, so he's winning at life. All right. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Now, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Curiosity Corner Live. My name is Joy. And just a reminder, the Great Lakes Science Center is still closed for the health, safety, and wellness of our guests and our staff and our partners. But we are still bringing you science content every day right here at 10:30 and at 3. So I'm a guest engagement specialist at the Great Lakes Science Center, and I am coming to you live from my home. And today we are going to talk about the science of trampolines. Now, I don't know about you. I absolutely love trampolines. Back in the days of yore, when I was a small child, there were two ways you could get friends instantly, and one was to have a pool, and two was to have a trampoline. So I spent a lot of years begging my parents to buy a trampoline and failing miserably. But trampolines are super duper fun. And not only are they really, really fun, but they use a lot of science. So if you were just to stand in the middle of a trampoline, not jumping, just standing there, what do you think would happen? Think you would magically go flying, or would you just kind of be there, not really moving very much? So I think if you were just standing in the middle of a trampoline, you probably wouldn't be bouncing very high, because in order for trampolines to work, there needs to be at least some bounce. And the reason why that is something similar to Newton's third law of motion. Now, Newton's third law of motion states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if I have here my nifty balloon, nice and stretchy, and I inflate it, you ready to be amazed? Balloon. Think this is going to go anywhere if I just hold it? Let's see. It's not doing anything. Nope, not that exciting. But what do you think will happen to it if I let go? It's just going to sit there in my hand some more. Maybe it'll spontaneously go away. I don't know. Let's find out. You're right. It is thrilling. Here we go. The suspense. See what happens if I let go. In 3, 2, 1. It hits me in the head, apparently. That does not happen every time you let a balloon go, but in this instance, it did. So when I let the balloon go, it made a funny noise and it went flying. And the reason why that happens is because of Newton's third law. When I released that balloon, all the air came out and went down. And because the air was coming out of the bottom, the balloon was pushed up the other way. Now, trampolines are subject to something very similar to this. It's not quite Newton's third law. It's something called Hooke's law. And Hooke's law is very, very similar, because basically under Hooke's law, the more force you exert or the harder you jump on a trampoline, the higher you fly. But Hooke's law is a little bit different in that it doesn't automatically happen because of Newton's laws. It really depends on the springiness of the item you're trying to stretch or jump on. So if you have a spring that's really, really stiff and doesn't really bend very much, it's not going to give you the same pushback as a spring that's much, much bendier. Let's see. Oh, Elijah is here. Good morning, Elijah. So Newton's third law and Hooke's law, very important in trampolines. But there's also something called elastic energy. Now, if you caught our Energize It video a couple of weeks ago, you would have seen a whole bunch about energy. And a few of those different types of energy are at play in trampolines. So when you step on a trampoline and you're not moving, you have potential energy. You could move at any point in time, but you're probably not. As you start jumping, that potential energy transforms into kinetic energy because you're moving. At that moment where you're just hanging out in the air, ready to fall down, but you're not, that brief split second is gravitational potential energy. You could move. You're going to move. You just haven't done it yet. And then when you fall again, that is also kinetic energy. But potential and kinetic energy are not the only types of energy at play with trampolines because they stretch. So they have something called elastic energy. So I have here a nifty, handy-dandy rubber band, nothing fancy. And let's see, if I just hold this like this and then let go, does anyone have a guess as to what will happen to my rubber band? Do you think it's going to fly? Do you think it's just going to sink to the ground? Keep in mind, I don't know if you can see it very well. I'm not really stretching it. I haven't built up that much elastic energy. I'm just kind of holding it there. So I'm going to do a little experiment. I'm going to let go of this rubber band and see what happens. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. That was not exciting. Because it didn't really go very far because I wasn't really building up very much elastic energy. So there wasn't a whole lot of elastic potential energy to transform into kinetic energy. That's kind of like what happens when you step on a trampoline and don't really jump very high. You get a little bit of movement, like I did. Oh, that got a little bit more. But you're not really flying like you might want to. Now, in order to fly, you got to build up more elastic potential energy. So I'm going to stretch this way back. Do you think this is going to go further or not as far or about the same? I'm going to actually get it on my thumb so I can do this. All right. What do you think? Is it going to go further? Let's see. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Whoa! I think that qualifies as further because 1, it actually left my hand, and 2, you can't see it, but it hit the wall way over there. Very good vibes indeed to that rubber band because it went off on a little voyage. So I was able to build up more elastic potential energy so that it was able to transform into more kinetic energy and go flying across the room. So more energy is at play in trampolines. And a really cool thing about trampolines is you can make something go high or far or high and far because why not? And it all depends on where you drop something from. Now, this is my homemade trampoline. It is very small and it fits in my house, which is very nice. So if we want something to go straight up high, we want to make sure that we bounce on the center because that is our stretchiest point of the trampoline. And that's where we can build up the most elastic energy. So if I just drop it from right above, it comes straight up. Woo! And then knocks over the cup, apparently. Exactly. Now, we also want to think about our launch angles. And if we want something to go straight up, we want to drop from straight up, just like that. Because think of it this way, if we drop something on the sides of our trampoline, it's not going to go very far because the trampoline can't really stretch as much as it can in the middle where there's no springs or sides or anything in the way. But if we want something to go any sort of distance, we need to think about our other launch angles from the sides or the front or the back. Because think about when you're dropping things on a trampoline, think about a letter V on top of your trampoline because a projectile will always leave a trampoline at the angle you drop it from. That's why when you go from directly up above, what you're dropping goes straight back up. But if I were to drop it from, say, over here, it leaves at that angle. Sort of a similar thing happens if you skip stones on a pond or a lake. That's why that wrist flick is so important because the stone will always go at the same angle. So next time you're around a pond or a lake or something and you want to skip stones, take a close look at that angle. And you can see it's pretty consistent throughout. So I could drop it from this angle and watch it go a little more flat, or from up here and it gets a little bit more of a launch. Or I could just, miss the center. There we go. So if you want to launch things using a trampoline, experiment with your launch angles. See what makes things go the furthest. which brings me to your design challenge for today. So I challenge you to build your own trampoline at home for something small, like a marble or a golf ball or a toy car, or something that you can find around the house. Now, you can use so many different strategies for building a trampoline using stuff you have at home. So this trampoline that I've been showing you is literally a cup and a balloon. I cut the neck off the balloon, and then I just stretch the round part. Here, I can take this off right now. So this is just the round part on the top of the balloon, like that. And I just stretched it over my cup. 5-second trampoline, super easy. But this isn't the only design out there. Pretty much anything you have at home that has stretch will work pretty well for a trampoline, whether it's a stretchy book cover, or you have some stretchy socks, or maybe try even plastic wrap, I don't know. Or you can use a tried and true stretcher, rubber bands. I have tons. Now, this is the inside of a roll of tape. But if you want to try other shapes to see if they are better trampoline frames, do it. I really encourage it. You can make a square trampoline, a triangle trampoline, whatever shape of some sort of frame that you might have. And if you want to use trampolines, you can just stretch a whole bunch of rubber bands around it to get that stretch. Now, regardless of what strategy you use to build a trampoline, think about what we've talked about. Think about bounce and making sure that you have as much stretch as you can get. If you want to make sure that something goes really high or really far, think about how you can strategize to make that happen. But while you're testing your trampoline, you also want to think about the surface of your trampoline. Because if you're dropping things on your trampoline and you notice it's not going straight or it goes off in one direction consistently, but you want it to go the other direction, look at your trampoline. Maybe there's a weird layer somewhere, or there's too many stretchy things in one corner and not enough all over the whole surface. So you want to even out that surface area. So here's one that I made. This doesn't work so well with marbles because it's got some bigger holes, but it's pretty decent trampoline. Let's try it with my golf ball. It bounces, but it bounces back towards me. So I need to figure out where this is uneven and see if I can fix it. So no matter what design you try a whole bunch of designs. See how cool it can be. Maybe you want to make something go really, really high or something really, really far. Or you can see how high and far you can make something go. But make sure you share those designs with us on our social media. Tag us, use our hashtag, StayCuriousCLE. It's right behind me. Now, we really want to see what you come up with. Yeah, share them with us. Now, make sure you come back here to Curiosity Corner Live at 3 o'clock. We're going to see a little bit more with trampolines. And you're going to get a sneak peek at tomorrow's episode. So that's going to be super fun. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Come back every day right here at 10:30 and 3 o'clock. So get building, have fun, and until next time, stay curious.